All right. So, a brand is worth a lot more than just a bracelet, a regular old. It's like Coca-Cola and Pepsi. You can't buy a brand. You know what I'm saying? Like you can, but you can't because you're buying the name of something. It's like that story that we all had to read back in like 11th grade English, where the guy, it's about the Salem witch trials, and he won't give up his name because like that's all he has left. Like you can take everything else, but you can't take my name. It's the same idea because once you give up your name or your reputation, you're basically you sell your soul is what you're doing. And so like that's how serious like you took it. But it's the same thing in business and in life. And like I feel like I've done this like in my life a lot. I just kind of like went along with the crowd and went along with what everyone else was doing, and just did what I thought was cool or fun or whatever at the time. And I guess I just didn't really care. And that's what it's actually about, to like actually get somewhere and develop yourself and your character and build your life and your business, and your mindset, your family, your growth. Like you have to care. You have to like. It sounds so obvious and so simple, but like you have to like put effort forth. Like you have to work hard. You know what I'm saying? So you have to care about your life and the people around you and their lives, and you have to put effort forth. You have to build yourself and your character, your development, everything. Like you have to have momentum and speed, and you have to like go somewhere. You have to push forward. You have to go through and push through hard times and come out the other side and mold yourself, or allow yourself to be molded into something a lot better than what you are. You know what I'm saying? The diamond in the rough, so to speak. It's like you can't really be something beautiful. I guess like you can on the outside, you know what I'm saying? Like you can be hot or whatever, but like to like genuinely be something like good on the inside, like you have to really go through the fire. If you've listened to Jake, um, God, preacher out of Dallas, I'll think of it in a minute. Anyways, like I really really big like preacher, um, great guy from what I've seen, but I've been to his church. Anyways, great dude. But he talks about the threshing of the wheat, and like you have to go through that in your life. You have to be like pounded, so to speak. Like if you're, I'm getting all, okay, that's what it is. So if you're a blacksmith, like you have to hammer, like you have to, pound all the. This sounds weird. Anyways, pound the molecules out of the iron, all of the air, the bubbles, and so you just beat the crap out of it forever, and you reheat it and you beat it and so on and so forth. You know what I'm saying? And so I believe life, God, the universe, whatever. I think He does something like with us in the same way. Like He allows us to go through things so that we become valuable, and we're not just a commodity, but like we're priceless. We're worth a lot more. And so whenever you're a replica of someone else and somebody else can just do the exact same thing that you're doing, you're worth less because anybody can do it. Do you know what I'm saying? And so the goal, like in school, nobody wanted to be different. Nobody wanted to stand out. Nobody wanted to step up and do the hard thing and do the thing that nobody wanted to do. And like I felt like I was that guy that was supposed to step up and do something and be something and just stand up for what I knew was right. And like I didn't at all. Like I was honestly, to this day, like as I'm making this video, like I'm finding my rhythm, and like I'm getting a little bit better. But like, dude, I've been putting this off for like years, like literally years, because I'm just scared. Like I honestly, like I care so much. Like I've cared so much what people will think and say, and like Am I gonna piss this person off? I'm like, you know what I'm saying? And like, it doesn't matter, bro. Just be you, do you, and go for it, and like, build what you want to build. You know what I'm saying? Like, if I could go back to my 15-year-old self and like give him a movie of how the past like 10 or 15 years of my life have gone, dude, like he would choose a totally different path. Like, he would do something completely different. But, you know, it is what it is. Like, I would tell him to just bear down and knuckle down and go for it. Like, at that time in my life, like right after that, I knew I was supposed to like start speaking in the church and stuff, and start like doing stuff with the youth group at the time, and just leading. To be honest, like I knew it was time to step up, and I just didn't. I was scared to death, bro. Like getting up in front of all my friends and all my people I knew and grew up with, and I cared what everybody thought, you know, more than I cared about growing and being somebody and doing something with my life. And so now I graduated. God, I'm looking at all these people, and I graduated back in 2016, and literally a decade ago, like almost, it's been 9.5 years. Like, that's insane. Almost 10 years. And about this time, like December, um, I was I was partying a lot, and I was getting in trouble like over and over again. Me and my parents were just, it was nuts at the house. Like, I was in trouble like every other day, and I just hated being here. And anyways, and they were over it. They were sick of me, and anyways, it was a mess. My life was just, on the outside, you know, if you looked at my social media and everything, then my life was good. You know what I'm saying? Like, my life was great. Every day I showed up at school, you know, had a smile on my face for the most part. Like, you know, some days, whatever. But like, if you didn't really know me, which a lot of people, like, I didn't really let anyone know me. Um, I just kind of, I lived two lives for a while. I feel like, I had this life out there that was really fun and great and spontaneous, and just did whatever and whenever and, you know, whatever. But like, inside, like, I was genuinely, like, I was just dying, like, just soul crushing. And so basically, my mom gave me a choice. At least outwardly, like, I mean, at the time, like, I had it made, like, I had it set up, like, I had a pretty decent life. um and so basically, I was gonna just leave and drop out and go do my own thing. And like, I had a vehicle, and I had a lot of pretty nice stuff, and like, I had a lot of really nice opportunities at the time, and I had friends. And anyway, so I had a good life, you know, outwardly, but inwardly I was just dying, man. So anyway, she gave me a choice, and she was like, basically, if you leave, like, you're not taking anything but the clothes on your back and a backpack. And so, long story short, I was like, well, this is gonna be freaking hard. And I just got to thinking, I was like, I just picture myself like walking down the road, the interstate, and I'm like, I don't know where I'm going or what I'm doing. Like, I have no plan. Like, what the heck? And so obviously, you know, like, I got scared, and I didn't figure it out. I was like, you know, if I could just make it through the next 4 years of my life, just graduate high school and do what they want me to do what she wants, you know, go to school, whatever, just do the thing. If I can just survive the next 4 years, then I'll be okay. Like, then I can do what I want to do. And long story short, dude, it just led to literally almost a decade. I mean, it's literally been a decade since I made that decision. I was laying in bed that night, and I remember it like it was yesterday. I said, screw it. Like, I don't care anymore. I'm just gonna stay here. I'm gonna do my thing. I'll just basically keep lying and doing what I'm doing, and just basically not care. Like, if I can just make it through. I was basically, I didn't have a truck. I was grounded at the time, and they had basically taken everything from me. And I'm freaking 17 years old. Like, should be a grown-ass man at this point, you know what I'm saying? But I'm still acting like a freaking child. And dude, I think by the time you're like 12 or 15, like you should be starting to grow up. You know what I'm saying? And if you're not, like something's really wrong, and you're gonna do what I did. You're just gonna start drinking and smoking and partying and sleeping. You know what I mean? Like your life is gonna be complete crap. Like if you're not taken, like biblically, when you were 12 years old, I think when you were like 8, maybe that's when they like took certain people away, like men, and they were like trained up in the ways of the Lord or whatever. Like they were basically like matured, you know what I'm saying? And they were mentored, and they had older men in their life, like when they were like 7 or 8 years old. Like that's when they were like taken away and basically isolated with men. And dude, every culture has somebody, like some type of like passageway that like you have to pass a certain amount of tests and do a certain amount of things to like enter manhood. Do you know what I'm saying? And so I remember McConaughey talking about it, and his thing with his dad, like you had to beat the crap out of him before you could do what you wanted. And so like his brother, when he turned 18, he said him and his dad, he wanted to like go out and go to a bar. Oh, they were rolling trailers or flipping trailers or something, basically stealing stuff. And his dad told him that they were gonna go steal a trailer from the company that he was working with at the time, his brother. And he was like, no, like I'm not doing that. Like that's stupid. Like that's wrong. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm gonna get fired. Like I'll probably go to jail. Like that's just dumb. You don't do that. You know what I mean? And he was like, well, either you're gonna do it or you're gonna beat the crap out of me. Like you have to come through me. Like I'm not letting you get out of this. You know what I mean? Like you either gotta beat the crap out of me or we're going to roll this trailer. And he's like, no, I'm not doing it. And so he starts coming at him, you know, and he's like hitting on him or whatever. And so he grabs a brick or a 2x4 and just smacks him upside the head and knocks the crap, like literally knocks his dad, knocks him out. He's on the ground like bleeding everywhere. And anyways, they all go over there, and his dad, he finds that he ends up waking up finally, you know, and this kind of gets going. But anyways, you know, he hugs him and he's like, whatever, like you're a man, this is your rite of passage, so to speak. And so every culture and every like generation has had that. And dude, we don't have it now. You know what I'm saying? Like we have a bunch of men, like grown ass men in men's bodies running around acting like children. And it's this phase, like a lot, Bedros Keuilian has talked about it a good amount, but he's talked about like, you know, the rite of passage. Anyways, he's talked about adolescence, and it's this phase where you go from being a child and thinking like a child and acting like a child and doing things that children do, playing with freaking toys and dolls and digging in the dirt and, you know, running around being an idiot. You know what I mean? Like, you're a child. Well, rather than hitting that 7 or 8 age where that, like, literally your brain is just filled with dopamine from 0 to 7 years old or whatever, 2 years old to 7. But at 7 years old, that dopamine spike, it starts coming down. And that's when about 8 years old is when I started I started realizing what was going on around me, like in the home and my family. And, you know, I started like noticing things and hearing things, picking up on stuff. And that's why, because from 0 to 7, you literally, you're like a freaking baby, you're an infant until you're like 2 or 3. And then after that, I want to say, it's just like your brain has an overload of dopamine. And so you're just living in la la land for like several years. You know what I'm saying? But once you hit 8 years old, 7, that's like when it ends. And by the time you're 8, that's like it's gone, and you start realizing like reality. You start stepping into the real world. And by the time you're 12, bro, 10 or 12, dude, you should realize like what's going on. You know what I mean? Like you should be aware of your surroundings, and like you are. And so basically how you decide to respond to that to all of that, depending on what you're raised in and how you grew up, like how you respond. A lot of people just react, and I mean, you're a freaking kid, like unless you're just a genius. And I didn't know, I guess I was ignorant, but like unless you actually do the work yourself or someone teaches you, then you don't know, and you just react rather than respond. And that's why it's called responsibility. Responsibility, like you respond responsibly. You know what I mean? Like you decide how you feel, how you respond, how you react. Like I didn't know that, obviously, like, I mean, definitely later on, like I knew that I should have like read, that I could have that I could have read, that I could have done things. I could have stepped up. I could have taken responsibility. I could have led. Could have, should have, would have, whatever. I could have done a lot, but I didn't. And so, anyways, if you don't have anyone teach you these things from a young age, from the age of like 7 or 8 until you're like 12 to 15, you're pretty much screwed, dude. Like you pretty much just download everything that's around you in your environment, and it just jacks you up. And the thing is, everybody tells you, oh, you're young, like you have time, don't worry about it, blah blah. Dude, I'm 27. Like you wake up, you blink, and you're 37. You know what I'm saying? Another 10 years, I will, like, that is insane. I'll be 37. Like, you wake up and you're freaking 67, 57, 40, like 77. You know what I'm saying? Like, you don't have time. Like, we don't have time. You know what I'm saying? To just jack around and screw off for 4 years in college and just get drunk every other night. And like, you don't have time. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's dumb. It's stupid to just think, it's arrogant to just think that you can waste your life and just coast along, and like one day like things will just magically get better. And like they just won't. Like that's what I did that for so long, bro. And it's like why? How? Like how can you, like, things are not gonna get better if you don't fix them. You know what I'm saying? And so like all you have is right now. Like tomorrow doesn't exist. Like all you have is today. And basically, unless you change something or do something about it, you're just gonna live the same day on repeat over and over and over and over again, like 365, year after year after year. Do you know what I'm saying? And so if nothing changes, like if you don't change anything, nothing is going to change. Like, does that make sense? Like, it's really simple. Like, you change. Like, change your life. You get up every single day and you just believe. You have to believe. Like, if you don't believe that you can do anything about it, then like this book, a bunch of action, fueled by no emotion. Words are hard. Anyways, so action plus nothing equals nothing, or action times nothing equals nothing. Does that make sense? Like, you have to internally, like physically, like spiritually believe that you can actually do it. And like, I don't know, I was questioning this the other day. Like, it comes from within. Like I was reading in the Bible this morning. It was actually talking about, it's kind of weird, but it's like, no one can come to me unless the Father summons them. And so I'm thinking like maybe that's where it comes from. Like Like the Father has to draw you near for you to even like want to, you know what I'm saying? But like there's something, I don't know where it comes from. Maybe him, but there's something from within that like draws you to go on a certain journey or like do a certain thing, and you can't force it. Like it doesn't come from outside. Like I don't know. I mean, maybe like just looking around at your surroundings and whatever, like it creates a response, or like you have to do it, or you want to do it because of things that you've seen outside, whether it's inspiration, or just your life is chaos, and just whatever it is. Like there are things outside that you see and you're like, okay, like this has to change, I have to change, like we got to do something about this, you know what I mean? Like it creates a response, a reaction, chemical, whatever. But like, dude, there's just, you cannot force this, like this belief, this like going and ongoing of whatever it is, like inside you, deep down in your soul, your gut, like you just know that you can do it, that like it's already done, like it's there for you, it's there for the taking. Do you know what I'm saying? Like I don't know where it comes from, like maybe it's God the Father, like it's I don't know what it is, the universe, whatever, wherever it comes from, like I don't know, embrace it, go for it. Like it cannot be forced, and it's a weird thing. Maybe it's a timing thing. Maybe it's just like, it's kind of like smoking. I've talked to my grandfather about this. I've been trying to quit smoking, stop vaping and all that stuff for like years ever. And so I finally decided a little over 2 months ago, I was like, I'm done. It's over. That's it. And I've hit it a few times since, and I'm just like, yeah, like this ain't me anymore. Like it's over, it's done. And to be honest, my brain, like I feel so good. It's like insane. But I mean, not, I don't just wake up every morning. Some mornings I do not feel like it a little bit. I'm freaking tired. But like for the most part, like I have a lot more energy, like so much more energy, and I don't know, I feel great, and I don't feel like freaking crap. Like my heart, my lungs are about to blow up, burst, and whatever. But anyways, so that feeling, like maybe it's timing, that like it's just time to take responsibility. Like it's just like with this, like dude, I have literally been contemplating starting a YouTube channel, and I mean I've tried kind of like over the past 6 months or a year ago, I think, but like literally 7 years ago, bro. I was in Kansas, I was playing baseball, and I was going to school. And I knew, like, I was like, what am I supposed to be doing, bro? Like, what am I supposed to be doing? Anyways, so at that time, I knew that I was supposed to start a YouTube channel and start doing something like this. I didn't really know what it looked like. I literally, I was telling some guys the other night, but I went up on a hill, like the only hill in Kansas. And I went up there, like everybody goes up there because it's like a landmark, because there's nothing around. In Kansas, it's flat, like there's nothing there. You know what I mean? Like, so anyways, I go up to this hill, and it's like called Constantinople, or I don't even know. It's something with a C, I think. But anyways, I go up there, and like there's a bunch of people up there. It's beautiful, like you can see everywhere because it's flat everywhere, you know what I mean? It's just fields and weed, or anyways. And so I'm like looking, I'm like trying to like record myself and get the angle, and it's just it was weird. Like it just wasn't happening. Like my mind was I was just drawing a blank, and I couldn't talk, and I didn't know what I was going to talk about. And I've done this like multiple times, but like I was trying to start and trying to do it, and it was not happening. So I don't really know if maybe like it just wasn't time, or, and that's actually a mentor I had at the time. That's what he said. He was like, maybe it's just not time. You know what I mean? And maybe I was just forcing it or rushing it. Or maybe I just didn't take responsibility. I don't really know. I know I definitely did not take responsibility um, for that time of my life, for that season. I just, I ended up dropping out, and I made a bunch of mistakes. And I let a lot of outside factors influence my decision making. And it was not a good season. Anyways, um, fast forward a little bit. It was not a good time in my life, but fast forward a little bit, and basically, like 5 years ago, there was a bunch of stuff that like led up to that point, that decision to do what I did. But I just quit in life, and I just stopped. Like, I started like genuinely like really avoiding things that I knew I needed to do that would cause growth in my life and progression and help me move forward, and things that just scared me like this. I feel like I've waited until the absolute last minute to do this, and it's like, dude, there's no other way around this than to just do it. And like, I've tried everything, I've done everything, I've ran as far as I can run, and it's like there's nothing else. There's nothing out there, you know what I mean? Like, you gotta do it. Like, you you gotta do it. You can't keep avoiding it and pushing it off and procrastinating it anymore, because like there's nothing left. Like, this is it. It's here. So, anyways, back to our brand. A brand is priceless. A commodity or a fake. He was given an example of a fake Rolex, and I kind of feel like a hypocrite because this chain and my bracelet, they're fake, but they look cool. So it's literally the same thing, but basically, Robert Kiyosaki, he talks about it in the Midas Touch. He wrote with Donald Trump, and I mean, a lot of you may have a lot of problems with him, you may love him. I don't know. I don't really care. I don't keep up with it, so whatever. I know his business advice. It's really good, both their business advice. So I'm gonna go with that, and we'll leave politics out of it. But anyways, a brand is, you can't put a price on a brand because it's a name. You know what I'm saying? You can't buy someone's name. Like, it's your reputation. It's years of trust and experience and relationship and just consistency or truth that's been built up over years and years and years of like consistency, of consistently doing something or not doing something. And so, I mean, you can have a crappy reputation or brand, but like either way, like, your brand is your name, it's your reputation. And so I guess if you have a crappy brand or reputation, like, you don't really have a brand, you know what I'm saying? And so he talks about like Coca-Cola, like, even though it's freaking horrible for you and everybody knows it, but everybody still I still drink Coke, you know what I'm saying? So the name Coca-Cola is worth way more than the equipment that makes Coca-Cola ever could be, because you can sell, I mean, like, Coca-Cola, the name Coca-Cola is, you can't buy that, you know what I'm saying? Like, the amount of money you can't buy it. Like, you can buy all the equipment that makes the Coke, because that's the commodity, that's what's replaceable, you know what I'm saying? And so you can make a Coke maker or whatever, a sugar stir, whatever, I don't know, whatever machine they use, machines, like, they make those in a factory somewhere, and then they send it off to make Coke. Do you know what I'm saying? So basically, is what I'm saying is, and what he's saying is, if your a machine or a commodity or a fake. He was using an example of a Rolex he had bought when he was a young guy, probably younger than me, honestly. He had bought a fake Rolex and he was wearing it, and he was like, "What do you have on your wrist?" You know, and he's like, "It's a Rolex," you know. He's like, "Is it a fake?" And he's like, well, "How'd you ask that?" You know, whatever. And he like took a look at it and he's like, "Yeah, it's a fake, like obviously." So, long story short, he's like, "Why would you wear that? Like, you're representing something that's dishonest and disloyal, and that reflects on who you are as a person, because you're, I feel like such a hypocrite right now, but anyways, I should take this off. But he was like, um you you should like be careful, because that reflects like your reputation, your name. It comes back to you. And so, oh, he was like if you're like people that actually have a Rolex, like it represents success, and it represents being somebody and making it and being able to buy something that's expensive. So somebody that actually has a Rolex would never do business with you, because they know what a real Rolex looks like. Do you know what I'm saying? And so as soon as they see that, they're gonna be like, yeah, that dude's a fraud. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like he's not trustworthy. Like he can't um, we can't be trusted. Like we're not doing business with him. But anyways, when you take shortcuts and you try to do things to impress people, you live beyond your means, and you do things out of character and out of context, so to speak, I guess, then like it comes back on your name. Like it takes a really long time to build a name for yourself, to build a reputation. Um, say it takes a while to tear it down too, but honestly, it can be torn down just like that. Like you can make one mistake, and it takes a really long time to build that trust and that reputation back up, you know, so to speak. But it's like it's years of, you make like one legal or um, say sexual, like you know, if you're married and whatever, you're a pastor and you cheat on your wife, like that's gonna take a while to like, you know, like build that trust back up with, you know, your congregation and whatever. But anyways, that's what he's saying is you can't put a price on a brand, because it's a reputation. It's not tangible, it's not physical, it's an idea, and it's a bond, it's a relationship that you've built over a long period of time with your customers and the people that you care about, and that you know, you love. They love you, they adore you, you know what I'm saying? Like it takes a really long time to build that level of trust and that level of responsibility and accountability and growth, like character development, um, with your audience. And so, say slow is the best way, but like you build things slow, but like you have to do them really fast. Like you have to take action like every single day. Like you can't just mope around and like slowly do stuff. Like your name is built over a long period of time, and it's built slowly and say exponentially, but like it may look like this at times, but like it's built over time. It's built slowly, it's built exponentially. But even though you're moving fast and the needle moves slow, but like you're not moving slow. Do you know what I'm saying? Like you're getting up every day and you're attacking the day and you're like, this is it, like this is the one. Like you got to be a little bit crazy, I'm not even gonna lie, to get up every single day. And if you've ever I watched The Maze Runner the other day, which is, it's kind of wild. I just had a few minutes to kill at work. Just probably shouldn't be saying that, but anyways, I watched The Maze Runner, and literally, dude, he's like he's getting up every single day and he's like trying new things, trying to get out, and everybody else is just kind of like standing around and like not really, nobody's taking responsibility for it. You know what I'm saying? So they never really got anywhere, and it was the exact the same thing in The Day After Tomorrow, I think is the name of it, with Tom Cruise. But it's this futuristic war movie where it's the end of the world, and like this virus or these aliens or whatever, they come and take over the planet, and they have like one last chance for a full invasion, um, to take these things out. And so if you haven't seen it, then basically the invasion is going to be a failure, a complete slaughter, and the enemy is just like, basically letting them believe that they can win, so they throw everything at it, and they're just going to destroy them in one day. And so basically Tom Cruise, this soldier, he's kind of like he's a big deal, I guess, basically, and he's like full of himself and over his head. So he gets humbled really quick. There's a lot of like meaning, and there's a lot of messages in the movie, and I feel like that's why I like it, because I don't know, I saw myself. But anyways, he's like this big, basically his company failed before the war, and so he went into the marketing. I was looking at the stop button, I was like, I hope I'm recording. Anyways, he went in to the marketing business again, but he started marketing for the war. And so basically he was getting all these people to join the army, but like he wasn't actually living it or doing it himself. Like he'd never fought a day in his life. He was marketing for everybody else. And basically the general called him in his office, and he's like, yeah, you're going to be on the front lines tomorrow. You're leading the invasion. And, basically so everybody can believe in you, because, he's like, you just got everybody to like sign up for the military or whatever. And he's like, what are you talking about? Like, he's like, basically, I'm a fraud. Like, he literally said, like, I don't do this. Like, basically, I guess he was like, I'm too good for this, basically. Anyways, he was like, I don't do this. Like, I'm the salesman. I'm up here, let them do the fighting. I don't want to die, type thing, whatever. So, anyways, it's a really good movie if you haven't seen it. But he basically, he dies. He gets basically eaten or killed by he blows it up, actually. It's one of the alien things or whatever, the enemy. And he blows it up and gets its blood or whatever all over his face. And it's not blood. Anyways. And so the day is reset. And basically until either he figures out how to beat them and how to win the war, or the enemy finds him first, like through their networking thing, their brain, basically, and figures out what he's doing. Whoever like figures it out first basically wins the war, and it's either like the end of humans or the end of whatever species is attacking us. You know what I'm saying? So anyways, I say all that to say that life it's kind of like that. Not the sci-fi crazy stuff, but anyways, it's like that. Like, you wake up every single day and you have a mission, you have a goal, you have a purpose, you know what you want, and whether you're trying to get out of something, or maybe you've already got out of it but you want to move towards something else, like, you have to wake up every single day believing. And this is actually the pastor, what the sermon was on this past Sunday, is like waking up knowing who you are, that you've been, the price has been paid, you've been redeemed, whatever. You're not condemned, but like, it's your responsibility to wake up every single day and with the attitude of like, I'm here, I made it, like, my life is full. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's like, rather than just like, oh, it's another day, you know what I mean? But you actually have to like be changing your life too, because like if you're working at where McDonald's or wherever, like if you hate your life and you're just gonna continue doing the same exact thing that you're doing, not changing anything, but then just begin waking up like everything's great, that's just living in denial. Like that's just dumb. You know what I'm saying? Like you have to actively, like for me, starting this channel and exercising, and my brother was talking to me this morning, he's like, bro, like you've got to do something, like you've got to start, you know what I mean? I'm like, I know. But anyways, like if you don't change anything, if you don't do anything different, like you have to do something different to get something you've never had. You know what I'm saying? And if you don't do that, if you don't take chances. Anyways, this is my boss calling. I get the night off, so boom, boom. Oh my god, this sounds so dumb. Anyways, that's what I'm like. I want more. Like, I want more out of life. I have to do something different. I have to change things up. And so that's why I've started running on the beach in the mornings with my brother. Working out here. I got my bag set up. You can't see it, but anyways, I built this freaking stand, dude. Like, look at this stand. Like, that's crazy. You can't really see the back, but I got like a support beam going back there, and you know, I built my chalkboard up. You know what I'm saying? So anyways, I'm doing stuff. I've been reading, I've been journaling. Yeah, just trying to change it up, change my life and do something about it. I started going to church. I'm gonna go to Growth Track. I signed up for it for a couple weeks from now, but anyways, so moving on. The reason so few businesses become brands is because most businesses are primarily in the business of making money, not people. And I added that I added that last part in because when you make people, so to speak, it's like it's about your personal and your character development, your personal growth, and theirs as well. You know what I'm saying? So like if you're focused on doing good for your employees and giving value and actually providing things. So say if you want to do a coaching business, like if you're focused on just taking money from people and it's like, how much can I get from this person or these people? Your business is gonna suck. Like it's gonna, you know what I'm saying? Like you have to provide more value than you're taking monetarily. Does that make sense? Like money wise, like Wolf of Wall Street, Jordan Belfort talks about it in his book, God, about sales, obviously, The Straight Line. Anyways, he talks about it in sales. Like there's this bar. My bad, I need some water. But anyways, I feel like a pastor. Anyways, he talks about there's this threshold that you have to get people over in order for them to buy. And basically, based on I gotta get some water. All right, I'm back. So anyways, based on people's personalities, their past, their decision making, their decision-making skills, their skills, their how they process information, like everything about them, it's the same. You're taking them down the straight line to get them to a certain point, which is to buy. So you're taking them from a 0 to 10 and wherever they fall in that line, which is, you know, if it's a 0, they're not going to be a buyer. You can't convince them, you know what I mean, to buy. Like you're sifting through people, trying to find people that are like a 3 to a 5 or a 7 and move them to a 10. And like you can't get them to a 7 on the straight line on, you know, the scale or whatever, and then ask them to buy. Like, you can, but then you have to sell them some more, and like they're not gonna buy at a 7. Like, they have to be at least like at 8 or a 9 at least, but like you want them at a 10 before you really ask for the sale and ask for the buy. And even then, like, there's 3 different things. Like, they have to be able to trust you, the company, and the product that you're selling. And so if they like and trust you, and they like and trust the company, but they don't need or like the product, they're not going to buy. You know what I'm saying? And vice versa. They don't trust the company or trust you, but you know, they like the product or the company, like, they're not going to buy. Like, they're going to find someone else. If they don't trust you, they're going to find someone that they do trust. And anyways, it's a whole thing. So you have to build all 3 of these categories up and get them over the threshold of that it takes for them to buy. And basically that threshold, it literally, some people, it depends on their personalities, their past experiences, their views about salesmen and the product and the companies and all this stuff that they've seen and heard beforehand. And you have to break down all these barriers and build up a relationship and build up trust with this person before they're gonna buy. Like, you can't get them to a 5 on all 3 and then ask them to buy. Like, they're not gonna freaking buy. Like, even if they like you and they like the idea, they like the product, they like whatever it is. I mean, like, you can be a Christian, you can be a pastor, you know, trying to sell your congregations, trying to sell whoever on whatever, and you know, on Jesus, the idea of, you know, Jesus, that he came and rose and died again and all that stuff. Like, you can be a teacher, you can be whoever, whatever, freaking dentist, like, trying to sell somebody on Invisalign, or like why they should go with braces over Invisalign, or vice versa. You know what I'm saying? Like, you have to be able to not only talk to people, but not really convince them, because you're not convincing anybody. You're not trying to move somebody from over here to over here. You're just like, the people that are already kind of going this direction, you're just like guiding them to where they really need to be. You know what I mean? Like, you're helping them. And so if you can't sell to somebody and you can't, it's not convince them, but persuade is a good word. If you can't persuade someone to go where they already need to be going, then like, it's really hard to get anywhere in life. You know what I mean? If you try to use like brute force or pressure and sales tactics and all that crap, like, it starts with your intentions. Like, you have to be able to like step back and be calm and treat the person as a person. Like, if you're trying to like, you know, freaking car sale, like whatever, you know, a salesman, whatever, over the phone, like, you can't do that. Like, I mean, you can pressure sell a good amount of people, but like, you're not gonna do business with them again. Do you know what I'm saying? So anyways, back to, I don't really know, we're talking about character development and growth and caring about people. That's how okay, so caring about the customer and caring about what they need and what they actually value and where they're going with their life, what they want for their life. And so you're kind of sitting back and you're literally just questioning these people. And it's like, well, like, you're kind of like a therapist or a doctor. Do you know what I'm saying? It's not, you're not trying to convince someone to buy your product. You're sitting back and you're analyzing what they need based on their current situation, because you're a professional. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, if you're not a professional, then you're gonna be like, buy my product, you know what I'm saying? But like, no, you're calm, you're collect, you're sitting back, and you're like, you're asking questions, you're digging deeper, you're getting to know them, their pain points, getting to know their family, their history, like what they want to do with their lives, where they're going, where they see themselves in 5 or 10 years, I don't know if anybody knows 20 or 30 years. I thought I did, 5 or 10 years ago, like I thought I knew, but I don't think anybody really knows. Like, there's so much that can happen in a year or two. It's like, it's insane. You go on a completely different course that you never even like thought possible. Good or bad, just depending on the decisions that you make. But anyways, back to it. So the more that you care about your customers and taking care of your people, the more your company is going to grow into something other than a transaction, but a relationship. And that's what I'm talking about. It's not about, so this comes from it's a poor mindset. It's never getting out of poverty mentally. So it's like whether you believe in it or not, the Bible, I'm not even sure. Like, there's too many like unanswered questions, too much. Anyways, I'm figuring that out. But anyways, in like Exodus, the Israelites, they're going through the desert, and like, God's feeding them, whatever. They could never, they were in the desert wandering around, just going in circles for 40 freaking years because they could not get out of the mindset of the past, of being caged in and prisoners and slaves and locked inside. You know what I'm saying? They could never let that go and step into what God had for them. So they never got to enter the promised land. Their kids were the ones that got to enter the promised land because they couldn't ever let go. And so if you're that guy or you're that woman, girl, whatever, and you're just stuck in the past, and my grandfather, he told me, he's like, you can't be looking in the rear view. Like, you have to be looking, you have to be looking in the front. Like, there's nothing back there for you. It's all out here, out front. And so if you're looking back there, you're gonna wreck. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're not watching where you're driving. You're not looking where you're going. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're gonna wreck if you're looking back there. So look out there, because there's nothing back there but the devil. You know what I'm saying? Like, the past, and there's nothing back there. It's just move forward from here. You know what I mean? Take responsibility for your life from this point forward. Because if you try to take responsibility for all that, dude, it's just like dead weight. Like, it's just literally like carrying boulders, and it's like, you know what I mean? Like, you can't, like, just step into what's new and what's now, and like do something different. Like, do it differently, and like, point, like, just let it go. You know what I mean? Just move on. And I feel like as men, like, we're the hardest on ourselves. Like be hard on yourself, and like have goals, have ambitions, like move forward every day, like work out, exercise, work on your stuff, do your stuff, like go through life with some purpose and a mission, and like like wanting to do something better, wanting to do something more. But like, also, dude, just like, you're human. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can't be perfect all the time. Like, you can be pretty damn close, like, sometimes, but you're gonna screw up. You know what I mean? You gotta just let yourself be. Like, let loose. Like, let it happen. Like, just do it. Like, live it. Don't plan it so much and try to get it so perfect. Like, just be it. Just do it and let it happen, man. Like, put it out there and let the energy go. Just let it flow. Just be, man. Just let it go and let it flow, man. Peace.